Did I tell you I was late for a funeral? You know how to go to a funeral?
Your own funeral. Look at that.
You'll be late for your own funeral. No, what happened was Fiona, who's a girl, I've known her since the 80s because she went out with my twin brother Glenn for a long time.
Yes.
And so her dad passed away, Roger, who we used to know because we used to go over their house in Knoxfield and hang out, and he was always very, welcoming. And when I started comedy, he got me a gig, and he's one of those, one of those dads who would welcome you into the
all-round good guy.
Great guy, Roger. Anyway, and so Fiona told me that he'd passed away, and then Kieran saw the notice in the paper for the funeral, and she said, "Oh, you should go." I'm like, "Yeah, I should go because it's a good time."
You don't get invited to funerals, do you?
No, you just turn up.
And how do you find out about funerals?
Well, generally via Facebook and text messaging and stuff.
See, I've missed some because I'm not on Facebook.
Yeah, you would have, particularly in your generation. Gee, they're the new 21st. That's what I say. We used to go to 21st to catch up. Now we're going to funerals of our parents to catch up, and then eventually it becomes funerals of your friends because mum and dad used to go to funerals all the time.
Well, might be long before you go to mine.
Yeah, your one could be good. And mum and dad would go to ones that they didn't even know the people. They just had to do the tea and coffee for them. Oh, always know someone there, Dad would say. Like the gate-crashing funerals.
You're just celebrating a life, and
You're catching up with people.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm like, okay. I'd been doing... Was I doing radio? Yeah, and so I got up after doing early radio, and then I put on my nice clothes.
Oh, of course you did. Your number one outfit.
Some slacks and a shirt. It was really hot, but I didn't put a tie on.
No, that's because these days you can wear nearly anything to a funeral.
Yeah.
I've seen people turn. I go, seriously, you could have done better than that.
In shorts and a T-shirt.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
verging on thongs. Yeah, mate, seriously. A little bit of respect.
For Rog.
But I go for I normally go for the dark suit. No, I just a tie. I don't love a tie.
I don't think you wore a tie to my mum's funeral, did you? Were you wearing a tie? I can't remember.
No, but I would have worn a jacket.
You had a bow tie on.
I did a few card tricks.
Had braces and baggy trousers.
Yeah.
Had a clown nose. Anyway, so I get to this church. I'm not familiar with the church at all. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. There's no cars around. And so I go in. There's no one in. And I look again on my phone. That's the church, right? That's definitely the church. So I go in, and there's no one there. It's empty, right? This priest wanders out. He goes, "Oh, can I help you, young man?" It's good to be called a young man. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm here for Roger's funeral." He goes, "No funerals today." Then he looks at his book. He goes, "We're at a christening at 5."
You go, that'll do.
I don't know. I'm not here for Sebastian's Christian. I'm here for Roger's funeral. And then he's like, that rings a bell. I think that was last week. I'm like, what?
A week later.
And so, I was a week later. I rang up Fiona and I said, I'm at the church. She goes, that was last week. I'm like, oh, no.
So that's that. I mean, and what did you say to her at that point?
I said, oh, sorry. And then I said, well, I was looking for next time, I said. She goes, what do you mean? I said, oh, yeah, sorry. I didn't mean like when your mum dies. I mean, next time.
Put me down for one. I am guaranteed.
Oh, God, it was bad. I felt such an idiot.
Yeah. I mean,
but you know what? The funeral notice was put in the day before the actual funeral. Normally they're a week.
Yeah.
And Fiona did say the funeral home had made a mistake. They put the funeral notice in too late, and everyone thought it was later. It was actually the next day, It wasn't a week later. So,
think about going to a funeral that you don't know the person very well, but you go along out of respect. Yeah. Don't make the mistake that I made, which was you stand up the back, and if you stand up the back because you don't know them very well, when you come out, you're the furthest one out. So when you're standing out the front of the church. Oh. So when the family come out, they will go and stand next to you. When I went to a funeral, it was like the son of a guy I played golf with not very often. And when they came out of the funeral, they all stood around me, and it was like I shouldn't be the number one person. I shouldn't be. I should come down the track a little bit. And I'm going, well, I don't think I didn't even know his name.
Yeah, well, see, there you go.
I knew and anyway, Chris was it? What was it, Chris? Chris was it?
Yeah, I know. Sometimes you go to a funeral because you know the kids or whatever, not the actual person who died.
You know what I loved about your mum's funeral?
What's that?
Didn't have to get in the car again.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, go to the funeral.
Yeah.
And then wasn't the wake out the back?
Oh, sorry. Yes, the wake was in the church hall.
Oh, how good is that?
And you love the catering. You love the catering.
How good is that? Because if they go, and we're going to go to this place here, it's a pub down the thing and down the road, and you got to find a park, and you just go, and then everyone comes out, and then you got to walk through the pokies to get to the back room, and then you go, and with yours, just walked out the back, and the party pies were ready to go.
Oh yeah, it was good. The catering was good.
The catering was really good.
Joyce would have been happy with that.
And it was a good vibe, not too many people, not too bad. And but funerals are the thing. I mean, I think I've told the story before, is that you've got to know the right time to eat the food that you've got.
That's right. When you're talking to someone.
Yeah, I was at a funeral and I was really, really hungry. And the chicken sandwiches came.
Oh.
And I could see her across the room. I'm going, when you could see him, I'm going, please don't let it be that all the sandwiches don't go but by the time she gets to the side of the room. So anyway, I'm talking to these two women, and I see them, and I grab the chicken sandwich and go, great, here we go. And at that point, she started crying. And I'm going, oh, no.
Yeah, you can't put it in your mouth.
You can't eat a chicken sandwich while someone's... You got to stop and respect the cry.
Yeah.
So, and I'm going... Can you stop crying?
Well, look, at my funeral, you're welcome to eat it.
I would.
You know what? I'm going to have catering during the service.
Yeah, no. You know what? If you have an open casket, I'm going to get a plate for you. I'm going to put a couple of party pies.
Rest it on me.
And say, this is what Dave would want. He'd want a room temperature party pie.
Yeah.
He'd want a chicken sandwich.
I'm going to have dim sims at my funeral.
You are going to have dim sims at your funeral.
Steamed or fried, whatever.
Yeah, you had both.
Both options.
Often they have the shumai, which I quite like because they're one bite.
Mini dumpling thing, yeah.
I think most people do well, and then they always have the urn. They don't ever have good coffee. They always have
instant coffee.
Instant coffee.
Yeah,
that's fine. I don't really want that. The urn water tastes slightly like an urn.
Yes, I went to a funeral of a woman I work with at the Red Cross a long time ago. She was old. A woman got up and sang, "Did you know you were my hero?"
Oh yeah.
And everyone cried. And I said to the woman's kids, "Who was that lady?" And they go, "Oh, we don't know her. She just does funerals." She goes from funeral to funeral singing, "Did you know you were my hero?" Meaning that... No one knew her, but she was just there to sing a song. They hire her? They hire her, yeah. She'd be like $400 a pop. "Did you know you were my... How was work today, sweetheart?" Oh, I made a lot of people cry. Yeah, she must do a cry rating. She must go, I got 2 at the first one. Yes. Got 5 at the second one. Got no one at the third one. Who was your friend? You're saying that was a wedding, and talking about turning up, and it was creepy. He would turn up to a wedding and wait for the bride to come up, and then just wander up and give her a bit of a kiss. And he didn't know her. Didn't know her. And word got around, but at first, because I dare say if you just got married, you go, who was that guy? Oh, someone's cousin. Or something. He'd find a wedding, park the car, wander over, get pushed through the crowd, and go, "Hello, sweetheart," like Les Patterson. You know what I mean? And plant one on it. Oh, that's so funny. All right, we'll play the music, Sam.
Welcome to Somehow Related. Now please welcome your hosts Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
Welcome to the podcast. Here we are, Somehow Related. 2 topics that are somehow related, but we're not sure how. But Sam's very good. It's very good. And I'm doing the Comedy Festival at the moment. If you're in Melbourne, come along to my show, Sucked In at Beer Deluxe. Sucked In? How'd you come up with that name? I just wanted a name from the 80s, kind of, and Carl Chandler suggested it, actually, from the Ding Dong podcast. Sucked In! Oh, I was going to, Mole Patrol. I don't know, some kind of funny name. I like a funny name. That's got nothing to do with the show. I don't, but anyway, it'll be fun. You just don't want the reviewers to go, well, I was certainly sucked in paying whatever you pay to get in there. And reviews aren't a thing anymore. Like, they don't seem to... It doesn't matter? No. Well, they do, but they don't come to my show. Because it used to be there was like one newspaper that mattered. It was the Age that mattered. And it was do or die. Yeah, and if you got 5 stars, people would come, and if you got 3 stars, you didn't. And it was kind of like... And nowadays, everyone knows there's so much more going on with media that people know what they want. These days, you get just like punters reviewing you and stuff. Like, I don't know.
Who asked you?
I know. Well, who did? But the people do. Don't worry. Yeah, it's interesting how reviews have changed. It's not a big thing anymore.
Would you say bring your kids to your show?
Yeah, teenagers are fine. Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't bring a 10-year-old, but I'm not really rude. It's not rude.
Oh, that's exciting. I
Swearing.
would get along there, and I would see you, and I would see maybe. What do you reckon's the optimum? I reckon in a night 2 or 3.
2 or 3. So there's some
It's a
very
night
like Bron Lewis is very funny. She's has she been on this podcast? No, I
don't think
think so. She's doing a funny show. Ray O'Leary, the Kiwi.
Ray, very funny.
Love Ray.
Guy Montgomery, he's big time now.
Huge. Who else is
Lawrence Mooney doing it?
Mooney's doing a show.
Yeah,
very funny.
Yeah, Jamone would be, of course, doing a show. He always does
I think
a show.
he's doing a show somewhere.
Yeah.
Most people that appeared on this podcast, we recommend.
Yeah.
Thorno's not doing one, though. There's a few people taking the year off. Get out there and have a look.
Oh, and of course,
Anyway,
Thorno is doing Sam Pang's new show. And congratulations,
job.
Sam. And it's been on a couple of weeks now.
Regular correspondent on this show, Sam Pang. Regular. Well, he's been on it twice.
He has been on it
At
twice.
least. Yeah, no, he did a great job, and we're looking forward to getting invited on. I don't know when that's going to happen. We'll just wait for the...
I don't think we'll get invited.
Why can't we get invited on?
Well, because we're not...
Kitty Flanagan on?
We're not big time.
No, you're as big as Kitty Flanagan.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. I mean, she's had a bit of, obviously a big upswing with Fisk, but, you had Russell Coit. Come on, don't talk yourself down. I won't hear it.
Yeah.
I won't hear it.
Anyway,
I
don't know whether I want to do it.
Come on.
Oh, no,
anyway, I know. Okay, so we get 2 topics, and we've got to work how they're related. Sometimes we get a few topics. I wonder if Sam's been listening to this conversation. She's going to give us like a celebrity one.
Oh,
or
I
a
see.
Comedy one.
Oh, because she's very good. Because
Ross Noble's also one, I think.
Do you reckon Sam uses AI?
No.
Is Sam AI?
No.
What is she?
No, she's not AI. Come on, she's a person.
All right. Yeah.
All right,
No, she's good. Okay.
Well, what are the topics, Sam?
Fragrance Barack Obama, Marilyn Monroe, and Michael Jackson.
It's a 4-way.
Woo! I've had this dream.
Have you ever? No, I won't ask that question.
I have had a threesome.
I've certainly not had a 4-way.
No, I've never had a threesome. No. The closest thing was when the cat wouldn't get off the bed. Get off the bed!
I remember I was at a house once, and I remember the dog. Yeah. The dog walked out after the thing, and the dog looked at me and went, "I know what you're doing in there."
Dogs get very funny.
They said, I saw you doing. You had copied my style for a start.
That's what that whole SBS show that Adam Zwar created with Jason Gantt, Wilfred was about. When, Jason played the dog as a human, and then it was based on Adam having a girlfriend where the dog would just sit and stare at him and stuff like.
While he
was with the girlfriend. Yeah.
Yeah, I was around at a friend's place the other day, and I looked at the dog, and then I held its gaze, and just went, as soon as I hold the gaze, I go, that dog could rip my throat out right now.
Yeah.
I think I'll be off. I don't want a cup of tea and a biscuit. I'm out of here. Thanks very much.
No.
Anyway, so what do you want to talk about first?
Let's do fragrances.
Oh, you've jumped at that pretty quickly.
I don't.
Have you ever worn one?
No. I've had aftershave.
Have you ever done aromatherapy?
Yeah.
You have?
Is that? Yeah, I think so.
That's where you put smells in and you put it in a burner and you go, today I'm mixing up a little burner and I've got a little bit of
I haven't, but Kieran does.
Bit of lavender, bit of lemon scented.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got one in the toilet that blows smoke, blows fog or whatever. Blows a bit of mist in the toilet.
Have you got one of those? But
yeah. Well, she puts it on, ironically, when the cleaner comes over. I'm like, why would we put this on? Or when we rarely have guests.
It's not burning a candle.
No, it just heats the water, and the water makes steam with the essential oil.
Because there's a shop at Southland that just sells scented candles. And I went, we used to have a scented candle. And then I looked at the ceiling. It's grey. It's smoke marks from the candle.
Candle fumes aren't great, I don't think. You want to get steam.
Steam, but even so, it's still the stuff's coming out. I'm not big for it.
Do you wear fragrances?
I wear deodorant. I'm a Dove guy.
Dove.
What are you?
I think I'm Dove as well.
But you're probably using Kieran's.
Probably. No, I've got my own now. And my oldest son's got we've all got our own deodorant, but I like ones that don't have a smell. But this one smells a bit like mandarin that I've got on at the moment. But that's, so you don't use aftershave?
Oh, no. I have a friend of mine who doesn't listen to this podcast. I said to him once, it smells like you put it on with a fire hose. You stink.
Oh, it's terrible.
Now it's getting me in the back of the throat. can you please not, if you're going to come in my car, don't put on aftershave.
The worst if you get in like an Uber or a taxi and
Yeah.
they've just over too much aftershave.
What
And then
is
you
it-
smell of it.
Yeah, that's right. It gets into your clothes.
It's terrible.
What does it tell you about someone that if they wear a lot of fragrance?
They're trying to cover themselves up.
Cover themselves up? Or have themselves smell important? Or
Yeah. I mean, some people smell good, though. You know when you smell someone, you go, you smell good.
not if it's too strong.
No,
You know
it's
what
too
I hate
strong.
when you get in an elevator and they've all got the different smells fighting. You're going, I'm going to get a
bit of Old Spice.
bit of Old Spice.
Aramis. What's
Yeah.
it called? Aramis.
Yeah, a bit of Chanel number 5 over there. My mum used to love Chanel. That was the top shelf, Chanel number 5.
Yeah. I don't know. My wife's got a favourite perfume, but I don't know what it is.
How does she put a little bit on her wrist?
Yeah, I think that's how you do it.
A little bit on the wrist and a little bit under the, and then
yeah.
Kath Day Night used to squirt it behind her legs.
Yeah, classic. And down the front of your pants. That's what we used to do with aftershave. Or was it
That
deodorant?
would sting you.
I know, that was just a thing that teenage boys used to do.
But
Well, now, you know what, with teenage boys, it's all about the Lynx, Lynx Africa. You get on a train
yeah.
with schoolboys, like,
They
smell of
stink.
Lynx.
And that is, I suppose it's better than body odor.
Well, our generation, like our dad's generation, was Old Spice, wasn't it? Remember Dad had the Old Spice?
Yes.
In the
He
white.
did. My dad had Old Spice, yep.
And then my generation, your generation, we were more Brute 33. They were Brute
That's
33.
right.
Yes. And then there was Aramis, or whatever it was called, the next one. But Brute 33, everyone had that at high school, I reckon.
Because we used to do a sketch on stage called Root Me 33.
Yeah. There you go.
Root Me 33.
It was just one of these things. But
Wasn't
an
there-
actual perfume is, I think a fragrance is that we're talking about aftershave. A fragrance is like a perfume, don't you reckon?
A fragrance, yes, it is. So we're talking about what.
Like Beckham's that you can buy.
Yeah, so
these
that's a
celebrity-
fragrance.
That's a fragrance.
As opposed to an, yeah.
Britney Spears, her one is massive. The one that she bought out. It's a huge market.
I suppose by wearing it, it means that you are somehow connected to her and you smell a bit like her. Yeah.
And like Beckham too. Yeah. I'm trying to think of the other men that have put them out. A lot of men have. A lot of actors have put them out.
Shane Warne put one out, I remember.
To smell of ciggies and baked beans. You should put one out.
Oh, Russell Court put one out. It was a bit of kerosene mixed with a bit of motor oil.
Campfire.
And a bit of roadkill. It's just all mixed in beautifully together.
Yeah, you joke, but that would sell.
Yeah. You know who knows about
Fragrances.
and I say this quite honestly, and I hope he doesn't mind me saying it, is Mark Mitchell, Con the Fruiterer. When I used to go around to his house, he still does, he's a potpourri guy.
Oh, he loves a potpourri.
Loves a potpourri, which is...
I've been around to his house once with you, and
Yeah.
he did smell nice.
He does smell nice, to the point that his son was so influenced by his upbringing that he brought out his own perfume.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Should we talk to him?
Why
Let's
don't
talk
we
to
give him a call?
Yeah, he knows more than us. All right, let's
Yeah.
call him up. Right, this is exciting.
Oh, Mark, it's Glenn.
Hello, Glenn.
Hello, Mark. We're doing our podcast, and
Yes.
one of the topics is fragrance, and I was just telling them about your passion for potpourri, your love of fragrance.
They're telling me, Dave O'Neill. Hi,
But-
Mark.
sorry.
Hello, Dave. How are you?
Good. We need an expert.
We need an expert to tell us about fragrance.
Why do you like fragrances so much, Mark?
I'm not really an expert. I'm just a hobbyist, if anything, an enthusiast.
Ooh.
I've always loved fragrance. My grandmother introduced me to the potpourris that were put down by her grandmother, which I've still got, and they still have that wonderful smell.
Wow.
When I take the lid off the urn thing that they're in, I can still smell it. The flowers and the spices and herbs that she put down back in the 18, whatever it was.
Gosh.
Wow.
It's always been part of my life. At school, my nickname was Mitch LePew, after
Pepe Le Pew. Yeah.
after Pepe Le Pew, because I was the only person in the whole school who wore fragrance from about year 9, or third form, on.
What did you wear, Mark? What did you wear?
Well, Brute had just come out.
Yeah, we talked about Brute.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
and
go
so
on.
I liked it, and I realised that Brute testers were available everywhere. So I'd go and spray a lot of tester on me. And so there was always a waft, a miasma of Brute everywhere I went. And people thought, what's that smell? What is that? And the girls particularly liked it.
Of course. Yeah, of
It
course.
smelled lovely. And I realised that it was not to be sneezed at. And I didn't care what anyone called me or said about me for wearing fragrance. Quite apart from the fact that I liked it, the girls liked it.
And did you move on from Brute to something else? Do you remember what the next big...
Oh, yes. look, I loved Brut for a long time until they changed the recipe and started selling it in a plastic bottle. And so I've never bought it since. But Brut was a fabulous introduction to wearing fragrance. And so much better than 4711, which I toyed with.
Oh, yes.
Remember 4711?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It was one of the earliest fragrances from Cologne in Germany that came out in the 1300s.
What'd you move on to after Brut?
I started exploring the products of a company called Ted and Emma Merlu, who came from Kenya. And their art was to copycat fragrances. So they were selling knockoffs.
Yes.
And that's when I found their knockoff for Brut, which I quite liked. And looked, it smelled exactly like Brut, so I've got that. I was introduced to other fragrances that were absolutely contemporary, but were complete knockoffs. So
Amazing.
It's ironic that I did that, given that one of my sons is now a parfumier, and would be horrified by the fact that I bought knockoffs ever. Mind you, I was only 15.
Your son, Glenn said your son's making perfume now.
Yes, he makes perfume. He sells it internationally. He's a genius, I think.
What's it called, Mark?
Perdrisat. Perdrisat. Perdrisat.
And it's available online, is it? How do you, if you'd like to?
Yes, online, and a lot of perfume review sites have given him the thumbs up very demonstrably and vehemently. So he gets a lot of sales. He can't actually keep up with the orders.
Wow.
It wasn't like he just got an old perfume and whacked it out there. He actually worked hard, I know, in your home with all and created an actual scent, which is...
The notes. They call the notes, don't they, Mark? The notes.
Yes, the notes. Yeah, the top notes, mid notes and base notes. Callum is the sort of person who is thorough and inventive. And as I said, I think he's a genius. A genius in the sense that, or the true sense of genius, being creatively unique. Like, he taught himself the piano at the age of 8.
Wow. And so what do you wear, apart from your son's perfume, what else do you wear? What else do you favour now that you're, like an older man like us?
So I tend to wear only Callum's perfumes because I love them so much.
Oh, that's good.
I've got a big collection of perfumes that obviously I don't wear much these days. Yataghan by Caron is a favourite. Givenchy Gentleman. There are a number, quite a few. A lot of them have been discontinued.
What's the trick to applying?
Well, I use spray dispensers because that way you don't poison the perfume by introducing sebum by putting it on your hand or your finger on the nozzle, which kind of pollutes the perfume. So the spray is the best way of doing it. And I just, after a shower, I just spray a bit on my abdomen.
On your abdomen? That's interesting.
So it wafts up. So I can smell it for 10, 15 minutes, and then everyone else can smell it for the rest of the day.
And do you hope that people can smell you, or you're happy that you can just smell it?
Both. I mean, other people smell it. They've stopped commenting on it now because they expect me to be wearing it.
I always associate you with a waft of something pleasant. It's always lovely to be around you, so to speak.
Oh, thank you very much. I love it. I love perfume. Perfume is, and all fragrances are linked to nostalgia. They're linked to, health boosting elements, and they're linked to, the green fragrances are linked, I think, to forest bathing. You know, forest bathing, when you go to the forest or the bush, and you just breathe it in, and apparently it reduces stress levels and has all sorts of other benefits that lift the spirit.
It's a Scandinavian thing, isn't it? Forest bathing. Yes.
I mean, all it is going out to the forest or the bush and spending some time there and breathing deeply. You've got a huge oxygenation thing happening there.
Now, Mark, you are famous for portraying Con the Fruiterer. Would Con the Fruiterer have a fragrance? Do we need a Con the Fruiterer fragrance? What are we thinking? What would be?
Oh yeah, Con always had a fragrance.
What was it?
It was very fruity. It was a mixture of fruit and spice. So it wasn't sweet, but it was spicy and woody, and with a touch of fruit. So
is he there? Can he talk to us just briefly, or is he there?
Well, as luck would have it, he is. He isn't far away.
Just put him on.
I'll just go and get him for you.
Yeah, he's probably at the fruit shop out the front there. Probably
Oh dear.
Hello, gentlemen. How are you today?
Hey, Con. Great to speak to you. We've been talking about perfumes. Are you into perfumes, Con, or?
No. The perfume, no. Look, on a lady is nice.
Yes.
But the perfume, look, I get perfume just from doing my work, Like from hands on oranges, you get the orange oil. From hands on lemons, you get the lemon oil. So, and then I wipe it on my clothes, and so you end up smelling like fruit.
What are you doing now, Con? I mean, are you still working in the fruit industry at the market?
Oh, yeah, I'm still in the black money industry.
What are the bargains today? What have we got?
You always buy what's in season. Now, right now, I've got the last of the cherries because they're coming from Tasmania. They're beautiful cherries, but it's the last of it because, like everything's slower in Tassie. It takes longer for them to ripen up.
Yes.
So I've got cherries from Tasmania. Yep. And, of course, I'm always into beetroot.
Right.
Beetroot is beautiful. I juice it every day. Beetroot and pineapple. There's a lot of sweet pineapples now coming down from F&Q.
Yeah. Now, the family must be getting on in years now.
Yeah.
How are the family? And how's Marika?
Marika, he's beautiful. You want to talk to him?
Yeah, go on.
Hey, Marika, come here. What do I do now? No, just come here. Talk to the boys. Hang on a minute. All right, come on. Hurry up. What? Why you want me to talk? Marika's here. Talk to the boys. Hello, boys. How you doing?
How are you?
Yeah, you know the boys? Yeah, no. I listen to
the podcast.
Okay.
That's right. How's Tula?
Hello.
How are the daughters? What are your daughters again? Tula, Sula? Was it?
Tula, Bula, and the Happy. The little gentlemen who can break. They're all working in the shop.
Where are they now? At home?
We're all living together in a very big house, and my mother's out the back in the caravan.
Sounds good.
It's got central heat in it right up against the incinerator.
Well, it's an honour to speak to you guys. Is Mark there? Just put Mark back on. We've got to say goodbye. Thank you, Marika.
Okay. Mark!
Mark! Now look, what is it?
They want to say goodbye.
Hello, boys.
Wow.
What an honour it was to speak to
Marika.
Con and Marika. Oh, my God.
Can't believe they were living in the same house.
I can't believe that.
Nana's in the caravan.
I only wish it was one thing better is when you stand next to Con Ferreira and you hear him talk. It just fills you with joy and love. And, oh, my God.
Well, thanks for talking to us, Mark.
Thanks, Mark. Can't thank you enough.
My pleasure.
And we'll keep an eye out
talk
for
to you soon.
the perfume.
Keep it fragrant, guys.
Thanks again to Mark Mitchell. Let's talk about Marylin Monroe.
Marylin Monroe. Fan, not a fan.
Oh, I'm a big fan.
Big fan.
What
is it about her that you love?
Well, I always liked the way she looked and the way she acted, but then I watched her in me and the kids and Kieran watched Some Like It Hot.
Yep.
Gosh, she was funny.
Yeah,
she's a really funny actress.
She found her
really
voice.
funny.
Yeah, she found her voice and was able to play it really well, which is a hard thing to do, especially in that era, because it was kind of like it was quite sexist in the way they approached comedy. Yeah. So she did handle herself really well, I thought.
That's the only movie I've ever seen her in, and gosh, she was funny.
Some Like It Hot. Now, what was that?
That's Tony Curtis.
That's the one on the train where they dress up as
women
in a band, and they dress up in a band.
Yeah.
And why do they do that? To avoid the gangsters or something?
Yeah, they're on the run, aren't they?
Yeah.
And one of them, it's Tony Curtis and I always forget his name. Having a
Jack
noble
Lemmon?
moment. Jack Lemmon. He's very funny.
Yeah, I know.
Really funny.
You know what he used to say before every scene?
No? Let's have fun?
Magic time.
Magic time. Well, good one. We should say that before this podcast.
Yeah, we should say magic time.
Magic time.
Somehow related magic time.
You normally just say, I've got to go to the toilet.
Well, I do, actually.
Just have a wee.
You've got to keep those fluids up.
Oh, absolutely.
So her name was Norma Jean, wasn't it?
Yeah.
She was...
Got married a few times to the baseball player.
She died at 35.
I didn't realize she died so young.
That is so young.
Drug overdose.
Well, yeah, and there's that whole JFK thing that they, I wonder if Trump will actually bring out the records.
Oh, the files.
Yeah, but you don't really want to know because there has been so much said about it and so much assumed about it.
Joe DiMaggio, that's who she married.
And Miller.
And the playwright.
Arthur Miller.
She went from a baseball player to a playwright.
Yeah. I mean... Was
that the way it went? I can't remember.
I don't know what order it was in.
And couldn't imagine he'd be a lot of laughs. Arthur Miller.
Arthur Miller. No, and it was kind of like oil and water, two worlds that didn't seem to match.
Weird.
You know what I mean? But then again, maybe it's the comfort that people get from, who knows?
Well, I loved her. I was amazed how funny she was when I watched that movie.
Yeah.
Because I just thought she was a pin-up. I knew she'd been in movies.
She did do a lot of nude work earlier. She did Playboy.
Oh, she did too.
Yeah, and that was how she got in, and then she became. I wonder what her first big film was. 7 Year Itch, was it?
Maybe.
What was that?
Gotta watch more of it, actually.
7 Year Itch is fun, where the guy's in an apartment and his wife goes away and the girl upstairs or downstairs, kind of they build a relationship. And does anything happen? I don't think anything happens, but it nearly happens.
Yeah, right.
So there's that real, and which is the one which is the subway blowing the skirt up, which they
reenact all the time.
Yeah, but they did it like so many times, and I think one of the boys, was it Arthur Miller, was watching it and was really upset about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, of the exploitation, and it was like dress was blowing up, and everyone's just standing around watching. You going, you know what? That's not right.
A bit creepy.
Yeah, a really bit creepy, but yeah, and she just had that vulnerability, and when you see photographs of her, there was a sadness to it too.
Yeah.
To her, like I think that I don't know whether we've ever played it on this show where she sings "Happy Birthday" to
Mr.
JFK.
President. Yeah,
and it is sad. I reckon.
Yeah,
it's just
well, we could do that for the thinking music.
Yeah,
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
Happy
a lot of people have certainly done a parody of it.
Yeah,
well,
she had that look. She had blonde. She was curvaceous, I suppose.
Yes, curvaceous, absolutely.
Sort of powdered a bit, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So she's an iconic.
Iconic, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like she's lasted, like Charlie Chaplin or someone.
Very sad loss to think that she died. So I would have said she died in her late 40s or something, but no, 30.
Yeah, amazed by that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, well, let's talk about MJ, Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. Love Michael Jackson.
You love the music?
Yeah, but
Peter.
Do you like him?
Nah, I never really liked the music, man.
You never liked it.
It's got a good beat, like that.
Motown.
No.
Funky.
Yeah, I like some of the beats. I never. Yeah, I never
really
never bought the album.
I was in LA when Thriller came out.
Thriller.
And I was watching MTV. I'm going, this is this thing called MTV.
Yeah.
And which we never had. That was cable, wasn't it? And that was and went to this girl's house and she had MTV and it was like, oh my God, I can't believe what I'm watching. And Thriller was on, I reckon, 4 times an hour, and it was full length thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great film clip. No, I mean, I always admire him and liked his music, but I never was right into it. You know, some people were really into MJ.
So if you were at a 21st and Michael Jackson came on, you would be getting on the dance floor necessarily. I reckon I would be.
I like the beats though. That's a good song, Thriller. Beat it.
Yeah.
Good.
So what? It's Motown, isn't it?
Yeah, no, he started off in Motown with the Jackson 5, but then he became, it's just more disco, isn't it? Pop, disco pop.
Pop, yeah.
It's not really Motown. You wouldn't say Thriller's Motown.
Oh, okay. But Jackson 5 was.
They were. I reckon they were.
I love a bit of that gear.
Disco kind of.
Yeah. So,
but his dad was mean.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. I mean, yeah, and
I've never interviewed MJ, but I interviewed his brother.
Well, the house that I was staying at in LA, Jermaine Jackson lived next door.
Yeah, Jermaine, we interviewed him on the radio, and he just...
I'm not backing that up. I mean, the tennis ball that came over the fence would have been Jermaine's tennis ball playing backyard cricket.
We interviewed him, and he just turned up. Normally those guys have a big entourage. Turned up by himself. I think he got the tram there.
Well, that's a good thing.
And he spoke like Michael. He's like, yeah, I'm living in Dubai. I've told Michael to come to Dubai. But he had a very tortured childhood. His dad was bad, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he had a lot of facial surgery. Not Jermaine, Michael.
MJ. Caught fire on the Pepsi ad.
Yeah, he did. His hair caught fire,
and that's when he got his drug addiction.
Because of the pain from that. Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah.
Bubbles.
There was a lot of controversy towards the end.
That documentary.
That was terrible.
I couldn't watch it.
You just go, I really don't want to watch this. The same as the Woody Allen one. You go, do I really want to watch this? And then you go, because, it's sad because these are iconic people that you love, and you go, I don't want to know, but is it true?
Is it true? Well, there's a lot of evidence, wasn't there?
There was a lot of evidence, but anyway.
He was great in that Simpsons episode where he played the big fat kid, and he said, Happy birthday, Lisa. Yeah, it's a great episode. It's probably been cancelled now, but...
see, the thing
MJ.
is now is that...
I mean, can you listen to his music and not feel bad? That's the thing about it.
I would say some radio stations would go, look, we can't play that because we all know why. Well, he married Lisa Marie Presley?
Yes. He had a kid called Blanket.
That's right, and he...
Held him out the window.
Have you ever done anything like that? You've never done anything like that with your kids, have you?
No.
But, you've probably done things at home where you go, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Don't hold them out the window.
Well, we used to climb up. We used to build trees up, cubby houses up trees. We used to fall out of the tree a lot.
I know.
Fell out the window.
Your dad didn't hang you out the window.
No, he didn't. No, yeah.
MJ, he again. Well, hey, he died of a drug overdose too.
Well, his
Maybe
was
that's a
similar
connection.
to Prince, was it? No,
Yeah.
Prince was...
No.
No.
MJ's was applied by a doctor.
Yeah.
Gave an injection.
And it was a sleeping thing, wasn't it? He
Yeah, really full on.
And this was during... He was about to go back on tour, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So he's working really hard. Because his dancing, oh my God.
Yeah, he's very good.
I think Fred Astaire rang him up and said, "You are a legend."
Really?
Yeah. Imagine Fred Astaire ringing up, because Fred Astaire, he could dance, let's be honest. A bit like me.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Of course I can do the music.
It's like the time when I hosted the panel and Bert Newton rang me up.
He rang you up to say, well done.
Yeah, he did.
Isn't it great when you get a compliment from an icon?
I couldn't believe it.
I remember when...
I thought it was you putting on a voice.
I remember when...
I'm like, fuck off, Glenn. He's like, no, it's not Glenn. It's
Bert
Bert Newton.
He'd never done that for me. How'd you get your number?
Oh, he was hosting GMA, and I'd been on GMA. He just got my number off someone.
And rang you up. That is
Rang me up.
huge. I mean, for me, Bert is number one.
I remember I was sitting in the pub waiting for someone, and it was the day after, and he rang me up. And then my friend turned up. And he went, "No, I don't know about you hosting the panel, And then I said, "Well, Bert Newton just rang me up and said it was a good job." That's the extent of that story.
It is. Well, I remember when Barry Humphrey said to me, "Big fan," and I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
Yeah.
It wasn't of me, but no.
Of Con the Fruiterer, who we just spoke to.
Yeah. And this is going way back, but I remember I was working on a show called Tonight Live, and John Farnham was on, and I'm going to sneak in and watch him at rehearsal. And I'm watching. It's just like his voice is just unbelievable.
Fancy.
I'm sitting up the front, and then he points in my direction and goes, "Big fan." And I look around to see who it is.
Yeah, there you go.
I look around and go, "Who is he pointing at?" And he goes, "No, you." And I went, "Oh my God,
John Farnham."
John Farnham.
That's
Hello,
exciting.
John, if you're listening, hope you're doing all right. I saw a photograph of him the other day. He's looking like he's
recovered.
Doing okay. He's recovered. Yeah, he's doing it. So Barack Obama. I remember when Barack came into power.
He was the mayor of Chicago.
Democrat, senator, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a mayor for a while. I know that much. So he was as opposed to Trump. A lot of people are saying. He was an experienced politician.
Yeah,
because I reckon Trump is not used to like.
He doesn't know when he got in the White House. He didn't know what was going on the first time round.
Not used to meetings and stuff. Trump.
Yep. So his theories are based on business. They aren't based on
the deal.
No. When Obama came in.
it was great when he got elected.
It was great when he got elected, but the world didn't change.
No.
Like, everyone was saying the world's going to change now.
No.
And he got beaten up by the system a fair bit. I don't know. I'm not up on how the American system works all that much, but it seems to me that it's different to the two-party system. I mean, the president has different powers, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Aside from the party, Congress. Yeah.
Yeah, like Trump does all those executive orders.
Which I find ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not get into Trump. We all know what's going around there.
Obama, though, I read this great article about him, about Obamacare. It's an excerpt from his book about what he was trying to do. They always go on about Obamacare. All he was trying to do was get cheap health insurance. Because, we get, in Australia and in like Canada, for example, health insurance. Like we've got Medicare, which is an amazing health system.
Yeah.
In England, they've got NHS. In America, they don't really have anything like it.
I know it's so hard unless you get it with your work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's when you hear comics talking on podcasts saying, I fell over in a bar and I said to the guy, do not ring the ambulance because it'll cost me $5,000.
Yep.
So people actively say, don't ring the ambulance. But all he was trying to do was introduce cheap healthcare to places like Alabama and that needed it, and all the Republicans were fighting against it.
And why were they
just
fighting?
Access to cheap health insurance. It wasn't even. It's just I couldn't believe it.
And then he finally got it through, but then it was wiped off when Trump came on.
Yeah. Some of it's still in place, I think.
Because that is his legacy that he did.
Obamacare.
Yeah. What was he? He was the 44th president.
I don't know. He did 2 terms, didn't he?
He did. It was 09 to 16, I think. He's a Nobel Prize winner. I don't know what for. He's a what else? What else is he?
He's a secret smoker, I think.
He's why? Remember there's that
smoker.
controversy about him being not born an American. He was actually born in Hawaii.
Yeah, in Hawaii. Yeah. Trump started all that. Yeah.
That's because Obama did a speech, I forget what it was, and got some comedy writers in to help him out, and Trump was on the rise, and Obama went, I'm going to embarrass you publicly.
Yeah.
And from then on, Trump wanted to get him.
Yeah, never leave. Yeah, he's very spiteful, I think.
Yeah.
Obama, yeah, he's born in Hawaii.
I hear, maybe I shouldn't say.
What do you hear? I heard he's a nice guy.
I imagine he would be a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's one of the great speakers. His rhythm of speak, I can't even do it. His rhythm of speaking is perfect.
That's pretty good.
He got, and then he. Oh yeah, I can't do it. But anyway,
do it.
No, I can't.
I can do. I'll do Trump. Hey. A lot of people are saying. I'm not very good at Trump, but
No.
a lot of people are saying. Yeah, Obama I can't do though.
I could do Bush, the old Bush. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it.
Oh yeah, Bush.
You can do Albanese.
Yeah, Glenn. Great to be on the podcast, Glenn. Listen, the election is coming up. What about Dutton's like? Oh, it's all like that, isn't he? Nuclear.
Dutton, he's like he's been pulled over by the police.
Yeah.
You realise that you were spreading the loss. You know, you got to get a new voice.
I could be the next prime minister.
Yeah, I think he's realised that, and he smiles a bit more. But you go,
apparently those glasses are fake. Someone told me.
Yeah, and he does look like that puppet that used to work with Rove, doesn't he? He does. Who's that?
Not Randy. Not Randy Feltface, the purple puppet.
Don't you reckon he looks like him?
Yeah. They work with Sammy J.
Sorry, he worked with Sammy J. I apologise.
Randy Feltface.
Was Obama the first African American president?
Yes.
He was, wasn't he?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, I didn't do American history.
They've never had a woman, but they've had black. We've had a woman briefly. England had Margaret Thatcher. Oh, and they've had a few since then, actually, haven't they? Yeah, England, yeah. Another woman. Anyway.
Okay, we all know about Obama, and I'm not sure there's any... What's he doing now? He's probably, I don't know. Did you know his book won a Grammy?
I've got his book.
Is it because he read it himself, didn't he? He did the audio version, which you don't listen to.
Did you listen to the audio version?
No. But if
it's a long book.
Yeah, he probably goes on a bit.
I actually watched, him and Michelle, his wife, they run a production company, and I watched...
a TV production company?
Yeah, and I watched Bodkin, which is their first production. It's really good.
Oh, okay.
So Bodkin's about these Americans that go to a small Irish town and do a podcast about some murders. Well, actually, there's a very similar show out with Christina Hendricks from Mad Men about an American crew that go to a small Irish town and do a movie.
That's the one that's out at the moment.
Yeah, but Bodkin was out before it. Isn't it funny how these shows turn up and they're quite similar?
Yeah.
It looks like the same town.
Yeah.
But Bodkin's better than the other one, I thought was better.
Right.
There's a recommendation. I quite like Bodkin.
I didn't know he had a production company. Michelle has been huge. She's been doing arena tours, hasn't she?
Yeah. She wrote a book and everything, yeah.
Jesus. It's
like... Hear Bill Burr's opinion on that? No. What did she do? What did she do? She married this guy. He became president. Oh, he's quite funny.
Bill Burr really does. If you want a lesson in wokeness or not wokeness, listen to Bill Burr on Fresh Air.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
He was on that Tonight Show. I just saw it on Facebook. Jimmy, who's the nice guy? What's his name?
Fallon.
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
And Bill Burr just talks about Elon Musk. It
gives him
I just roast him about his plugs and his... he said all the feminists were worried about the jocks. Should have been worried about the nerds because it's the nerds now that are ruining the world. People like Elon Musk. Anyway, okay, we've had enough. What's the thing?
So okay, I'll just run you over the topics, just so because there's 4, which is a lot for us to take in. So we had fragrance with the great Mark Mitchell, bringing us up to date on fragrance.
Yeah.
Did you know that fragrance was first invented to cover up the bad smell?
Yeah.
Does everyone know that?
I think you'd assume that, wouldn't
you? Would assume that you put it on yourself because you haven't had a shower.
Yeah, we couldn't. Showers weren't that.
I'll tell you what, though, it'd want to be a good fragrance to cover up body odor. Can you smell your own body odor?
No, but don't worry. People that you know.
People will tell you.
Yeah.
I know teenage boys stink.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, because you've got teenage boys.
Got a few, yeah.
You'd know. So we had fragrance, we had Obama, we had Marilyn Monroe, we had Michael Jackson. So what do we do for thinking music? Do we do Chanel number 5? Oh, we said...
No, Marylin, happy birthday. Or we could do an ad.
You know what I would love to hear again? I know it was big probably in the 90s. It was the, look at me, look at your husband, look at me, look at my husband. Look at
yeah, that's funny, the black guy on the horse.
Old Spice, what am I doing? What am I saying? Where am I going?
Yeah. Let's play that.
Let's play that.
Hello, ladies. Look at your man. Now back to me. Now back at your man. Now back to me. Sadly, he isn't me. But if he stopped using lady-scented body wash and switched to Old Spice, he could smell like he's me. Look down. Back up. Where are you? You're on a boat with the man your man could smell like. What's in your hand? Back at me. I have it. It's an oyster with 2 tickets to that thing you love. Look again. The tickets are now diamond. Anything is possible when your man smells like Old Spice and not a lady. I'm on a horse.
Okay, what's your answer? That's a very funny ad. What's your answer?
It's hard, but I am going to go the obvious and go, ironically, they all wore the same fragrance at some point.
I was going to say they all had fragrances named
after them.
Like David Beckham. You know, that's the only one I can keep thinking.
But
Spears.
I'm not having to go at your thing. But aren't there lots of people that had things named after them?
I don't know.
So
sure. You've got that park bench down the beach.
Yeah,
I've got that toilet block. All right. Well, what is the answer, Sam?
All 3 have fragrances made from their DNA sourced from their hair. Produced by a company called My DNA Fragrance, the cologne was made by lifting DNA from strands of hair. The strands came from the collection of John Resnikoff, who has boatloads of famous follicles.
Wow.
You have been listening to Somehow Related with Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
That's a bit creepy, isn't it?
So
John Resnikoff.
And what does the DNA have to do with the fragrance? Is it like DNA doesn't smell?
No, but he uses the DNA. The DNA is in the fragrance.
Glenn, the genetic blueprint with used to formulate their individual fragrances.
That's
kooky.
What hair would it be? It would be hair on your head, would it? Yeah, not hairs on other parts.
I think it's pubic hair.
Well, where are they getting these?
Where is this John guy getting this hair from?
I know that I read an article recently that they were doing Beethoven's hair.
Is he turning up to funerals and just doing a bit of a snip in the casket? Snip.
So maybe if you're a president, maybe you.
Your hair's somewhere.
No, or maybe you have to leave it for
prosperity.
Well, maybe they cut a bit off when you. Do they cut a bit off when you? But that's not fair that they've got it. And then it's not fair that he gets to go and test it. How would you feel if I got a bit of your,
I go for it. I don't care.
Bum hair. And I'd call it
bum hair.
Bum hair. That with the name of the fragrance.
Bum hair.
Yeah.
Dave O'Neill's bum hair.
And without your, acknowledgement, that's wrong. That shouldn't happen.
It's wrong.
But they found that Beethoven had. What did he have? He had hepatitis.
Oh, yeah. He was sick.
So they can tell from
the
hair, or they can tell so much,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you reckon they could just tell what sort of shampoo they used. Like Beethoven wasn't using enough conditioner, we can tell.
Yeah. Wow, amazing. There we go. Amazing.
Yeah, well, that's just the thing. Now, that is worth a conversation at a dinner party if you listen to Somehow Related.
Yeah.
You can say, hey, who knows something about hair? I do.
Yeah.
And fragrance? Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, you haven't got any jokes about hair, have you?
Hair. Yeah, go to the hairdresser. I know a few Michael Jackson jokes, but I can't tell them on the radio, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, I know one too. It's terrible.
Bubbles, Bubbles the monkey, who's still alive, everyone. He's in a zoo in Florida. Look that up.
Marilyn Monroe, no, Obama.
Marilyn Monroe, Barack Obama, fragrances, perfume. You'd think there'd be a perfume joke, wouldn't there?
Who was the famous character that was on the cartoons?
Pepe Le Pew. Yeah, Mark Mitchell mentioned that.
Oh, of course he did, yeah.
Remember we used to go into Myers in the snake pit and all those very flash women would be, the spray the perfume on you.
What do you call it?
The snake pit, they used to call it.
Why is that?
Because they, I don't know. They used to say all the women would fight and stuff, and it was like you'd walk through.
Because I didn't like it when they squirted you and you didn't want to be squirted, and you go, now I stink. And now what do I do? And I can't get it a bit closer. Now, I don't smell good. I smell like an old lady with lavender all over me. You know.
Hey, why did the perfume fail the driving test? He didn't know common sense. Oh, jeez.
You could lose your license for that.
I like this. Why did the perfume bottle go to the therapy? It had a lot of bottled up emotions. Yeah, I think that's
okay.
Right.
I heard one for the kids the other day. This is a banana joke.
Yeah, go on.
Why did the banana go to the doctor?
I don't know why.
Because he wasn't peeling well.
Hey, I like it. Cute.